Hello to all my droplets out there. So, this is going to be the strategy or the preparation that you need to do for the next year. So, at this point, you might already have understood what went wrong, or even if you didn't, it's completely fine because let's start strong. So, this is here. I'm just putting this video so that you have a clear idea of what is something extra that you need to do that you were already doing in the previous 2 years of your preparation. The last 2 years might have been like you haven't done anything, but you definitely did something. So, an addition to that and strengthening is what is required, in my opinion. So, let me begin and let's dive into the video. So, this is about the NEET 2026 preparation strategies, and I made a simple little PDF format which I like to explain it to you guys. Firstly, for successfully preparing for NEET 2026, it requires a comprehensive approach that focuses on mastering core concepts, engaging in intensive practice, and maintaining a regular revision schedule. Now, this is very important. Firstly, you need to understand every single word that's there in the NCRT. Like, even if someone randomly asks you, can you please explain this to me? You'll have to be ready to do that. So that's where I mean mastering the core concepts. Like, you have to be a great teacher. You can see how good teachers are in that particular subject that they're teaching to you, right? So you got to be as good as them. Second is engaging in intensive practice. It's an MCQ based exam. It's not a written exam where you can just study and go write it on spot. It's MCQ based. There's a lot to do about practice and time more than knowledge. So it's that kind of an exam. So please make sure you master that. And next, you have to do the regular revision. Now, this is very important because you don't have 1 year worth of stuff. It's 2 year worth of stuff. And that 2 year itself is a lot because you're dealing with the whole science. You're not just dealing with biology. So you've got a lot of information. Even in one chapter, you've got so much of information. So only regular revision can make sure that by the time you write your exam, you know every single corner of the book and every single nick of it. So that's what I mean by this. It's also crucial to develop effective time management strategies to enhance information retention and optimize performance during the exam. But this is also something that kind of told me during the exam because if I was thinking if I would have done it a bit faster, I could have checked the stuff that I carelessly mistook and wrote it as a something else. So I just wanted to be faster. That's the one thing that I had in my mind while preparing for this time. So that's where time management comes into place. By balancing these elements, candidates can significantly improve their chances of success. Next, we have master concepts with NCRT. So, about each, let's learn it more. Utilizing NCRT textbook is vital to mastering foundational knowledge in physics, chemistry, and biology. By focusing on high weight chapters and actively engaging with the material through note taking, students can enhance their understanding and improve their overall academic performance. Focus on NCRT textbooks. Carefully read each chapter in physics, chemistry, and biology, taking detailed notes. Prioritize high weight chapters. Ensure a deep understanding of key topics that frequently appear as they impact overall scores. That's very important because you could see when you see the paper, the things that you would have studied as important stuff, they have come there. But they've just come in a twisted format. So that's one important thing. Alright, so here's how we have to create a structured study plan. Firstly, develop a timetable. Create a personalized study timetable that includes daily and weekly goals for effective learning. Next, revision slots. Include regular slots for revision to reinforce learning and retention. And third is practice MCQs. Allocate time for multiple choice questions practice to enhance test readiness. And fourth are mock tests. Take mock tests to continuously assess understanding and improve performance. So, this is something that we'll have to do. It's very simple. You see, the strategies are not out of the box or something that's very unique because the strategies are the same for everybody. Everybody who listen to it think I've already heard about it, but everybody who listen and implement it are very, very less. So that's the whole point of this need because people who study a lot but people who implement and properly do it are too less. So that's where we're going to play with all this. So, all right. So, next we have practice and revision techniques. Firstly, solve past papers. Regularly solve previous year's exam papers and mock tests for analysis. And analyze mistakes. Understand weak areas for improvement by analyzing mistakes from the test. This is very important. I had this particular question in the exam that I've always had a doubt on. I was always confused of that I was always not 100% sure of. And the same thing would come in the exam. That's something that happens to everybody. You would see it, you not study properly, and that's the thing that will come to exam. But this time we are not taking any chances. And next we have our revision techniques. Use active recall and spaced repetition with notes or flashcards daily. Efficient study routine. Study schedule. Allocate 1.5 to 2 hours daily for bio and alternate between 2 to 3 hours for physics and chemistry. So altogether, even if you consider the maximum, you'll have 8 hours of study. So 3 hours of physics, 3 hours of chemistry, and 2 hours of biology. Next, take up the Pomodoro technique. If usually this works very well if you're just starting to study after a huge vacation. So, because if you, let me tell you what happens if you think I'll study for long hours from the first day. You'll study 1 hour or maximum 2 hours, and then you'll be very tired. You'll not do anything for the rest of the day and probably the next few days as well. So, that is one problem that comes in here. Alright, next is avoid burnout. Use breaks wisely to prevent fatigue and maintain focus. Mock test and mistake analysis. Weekly mock test, take tests that simulate real exam condition. Now, this is one thing that they do in every coaching institute that I've seen, and one particular institute that I've gone to as well. So they make sure the mock tests are on time. They give it no matter what. They give it even if the portions are not done. So they make sure that is given because this is the difference between self study and having mock test. So this is very important that I like everyone to keep in your mind that you need to give weekly mock test. Keep a schedule, keep papers ready, and then give them every week. Every week is the best time. If you can do more than that, that is still amazing. Mistake logbook. Document and analyze each error to enhance understanding. This is also another important thing. I've seen a lot of toppers talk about it, and if it has worked for them, then surely work for us too. So it's always good to implement. Later, we can see whether it's working for us or not. But first, let's try to implement and learn from it. Next, we have focus and comprehension. Comprehend reasons for mistakes like misreading questions. Exactly. So when you're doing the analysis, you have to make sure did you do it as a silly mistake or did you do it because you didn't understand the concept? So understanding what went wrong is something that's very important because you don't want to do that during the actual NEET exam. So it's better to do it now and correct it in the NEET exam. Alright, so here is something that what toppers do differently. Daily planning. Successful candidates plan their days with clear goals for each subject and dedicate time blocks to revision. Now, if you're thinking yourself as a medical aspirant, you have a future goal, you have that long term goal, what you want to be, what you want to achieve. But thinking of the long term goal, you forget what to do right now. You forget what to do at the present moment. So make sure you have short term goals and minute or nano goals for every single day. And that is what makes us different from the toppers because they have goals every day, but we have just one particular goal. So remember, that's the difference. Revisiting topics. They revisit challenging topics multiple times, often teaching concepts allowed to reinforce understanding. That's another important thing. I've also done this. Like if I finish a chapter, I'll just leave the chapter and then go on to the other chapters. I'll just leave it at least even for months. And by the time I'd forget everything, and if there was something challenging for me, I'd never visit it again. That's one important thing. And teach it aloud. Remember this because you see teachers kind of know every single thing that you ask them. How is that? They teach it multiple times to students. And that's how it's beautifully done. So we're gonna implement the same thing. Next, consistent progress. These practices ensure consistent progress towards their targets. Now, you might have thought that every single competitive exam could be achieved through consistency. And it's not just competitive exam, it's everything in life. If you're a dancer, if you're a singer, if you're anybody, you can only achieve it through consistency. So these are all the things that toppers do differently. Effective study tips. To enhance your learning experience, mastering the NCERT textbooks is crucial. Exactly. As I told you, these are like your holy books. Everybody's told it's the holy book, so we have to treat it like a holy book. Following this, utilizing high quality reference book will enable you to address advanced problems that require a deeper understanding. So this is again something that coaching institutes do differently. They give high quality reference book. They give it with a lot of information, which will make sure the understanding is very much better. Because the NCRT is filled with facts. They kind of spit out the facts right on the face. But that might not help us to understand. Rote learning can't help no more, actually. It can only help in some cases, but will not help for you to be the topper. So that's the thing. Additionally, maintaining a disciplined studies routine and promptly adjusting to any syllabus changes will ensure that your preparation stays relevant and effective. Remember that during the course from 2025 to 2026, there might be a lot more changes that we might expect soon. So we have to make sure to be flexible with the changes and also discipline study routine. This is something very hard because the previous 2 years I've tried to be this person, but I never was. But this time, just like I've read it in few books, when you're doing habits to make it a routine, you'll have to start small and strong. When it's small, it's strong. So we're gonna figure that out together. Don't not worry because I'm here in this race with you guys, and it's not a rat race, but it's a race for life. Alright. Master NCRT. Focus on high quality reference book for advanced problems and stay disciplined, maintain a fixed study schedule, and adapt quickly to syllabus changes. Boost your confidence for NEET 2026. This is very important. You might be very down right now. You might be hurt to your core. You might be hurt to the core like no one else has been around you. So it's time to boost your confidence. It's time to say yourself that I've got yet another chance and I'm going to prove it wrong. I'm going to make great comeback. So that's where we are living in. So all I'd say is implement strategies. Implementing effective strategies will enhance your confidence and bring up new strategies which will make studying more fun. So that's one thing I'd say. Second is boost your scores. These strategies aim to boost your scores on the NEET 2026 exam. And foundation for success, lay a strong foundation for successful career in medicine. So remember that now, even as a dropper, you might think I'm still not 100% sure of whatever I studied in 11th and 12th. Now, if you would have gotten a medical seat with this kind of a thinking that I'm still not sure of 11th and 12th, then that's to the core stupidity. You have no base or foundation, and then you jump into medicine, and I don't think you'll ever be able to qualify NEET PG too. So only if you have a strong foundation from 11th and 12th, you'll be able to do medicine in a better and successful way. So that's exactly why we might be back because I've seen people just with money, they can do everything. They just go, but they might not be able to fulfill whatever they want as a future goal because their foundation is weak. And remember, we are here to rebuild the foundation and make it stronger like never before. All right. So this is all I'd like to say. Please to forgive me if I stammered a lot and forgive me if I've told something stupid because I I usually don't talk philosophy, but this was just like some things that I've experienced myself and I want to tell you guys too. Because some of you might still not have an idea what went wrong because I was like this in the beginning. But when I slowly think of it, I was like, okay, I did that wrong, I did this wrong. Believe me, whenever I started studying one particular chapter from biology, and when I did that, there were a few doubts that I had rounded up. And when I took my book and saw it, there was the same doubts still unanswered. So that was very wrong from my part. So I'm thinking I have to make sure I experience and learn everything, experience the whole race again, but do it in the best way this time. So that's all for now, guys. I hope you'll be having more confidence and more strength to start now. So we're starting today, which is September 15th, and I've already given you another video as a support. And this one is the start. Usually, the first step is very hard because you have been enjoying life until now. You've just tried to forget about NEET and you've been enjoying life, but now it's unfortunately that you need to come back. So, we're gonna come back in the best way possible and do it in the best way possible. And the fact that we're all together, I'm sure we can ace this and will not be left alone. So, let's get going and let's meet a great comeback this year. Bye bye, guys.